Hey guys, welcome back to Whisktakers. My name's Lubin, and today we'll be taking a look at this brand new era of Guild with the arrival of Eclair Cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom. It's been a year since CRK launch, and that also means it's almost been a whole year since Whisktakers founding. And I just want to quickly give a thank you to everyone who's been here with us since the beginning. Our community has been steadily growing even after all this while, and we really cannot wait to see what this next year will bring for us. With this anniversary update, we're getting Eclair Cookie. Eclair Cookie's update has also brought about a new era of guild battles with the amount of new features, and of course, new strats to be utilized for even higher damage numbers. Today, we'll be taking a look at two brand new strats in guild battles with Eclair Cookie. The first one we'll cover is the classic style regular run with the addition of Cotton Cookie. Second, we'll be using Almond Cookie. We have a video on updated solo strats on the way, so definitely stay tuned for that. With that said, let's jump straight into the guide. With Eclair Cookie, Poison Mushroom Cookie is now fully phased out, and you can safely transfer whatever toppings you had on Shroomy to your Eclair. For the purposes of this video, we will mainly be using the attack build for Eclair, prioritizing on attack and cooldown substats. There is no minimum to reach with any of the substats, but I personally will recommend getting at least 2 to 4% extra cooldown just to be on the safe side of things. For Cotton Cookie, this is where things may get a little bit tricky. You will need at least 24% cooldown excluding set bonus to make sure Cotton's sheep can tank the dragon's hits properly. Licorice Cookie is also almost phased out completely, but if you're struggling to get Cotton built, you may stick with Lico. For timings, Lico will continue to use the same timings as before, just at a greater risk of failing a run entirely. For the rest of the team, the setup is pretty much the same as before, except for giving Vamp and Sharky more cooldown to reduce the risk of failing a run. Here's a summary of toppings for each cookie on screen right now. With your first team fully set up, we'll now look at how a successful run should look like. This is basically the simplest it can get, so let's see how we can replicate it. Before I start, just want to make a quick disclaimer. The damage numbers shown in this video won't be much more inflated than most players watching this video. Whisktakers has a lot of buffs from guild relics and the level itself, and the members involved in this video also has much higher cookie bonds and lab progressions. Please take into account the amount of buffs and optimization for yourself, and make estimates accordingly. We cannot guarantee that you will hit 10 million damage following our guides, but we can assure you that your damage can be increased if you haven't utilized these strats already. Let's jump straight into the breakdown. First, you want to turn on auto. Turning on auto makes a lot of things easier, but you can choose not to if you think it's a little bit unreliable. When the timer on Sharky is almost halfway past this little shine on his head, you can cast Cotton. After that, put Cotton on Q, just like how you would with Lico. Right as the boss text appears, you'll want to start mashing Eclair's button to cast him right away. Once that's done, you can cast DC right as Cotton is at this pillar right here. When Slingshot is at 6 or 7 o'clock, cast Vamp, then cast Sorbet at 9 o'clock Slingshot. At this point, your Cotton should have casted on her own, so just put her back on timer right after that. As the red circles on the ground start blinking the second time, cast DC. Cast Eclair whenever the cooldown is up. If your guild has this low dragon buddy, casting Vamp when dragon raises its head will usually help ensure that the buddy gets one more hit in, although this is actually quite RNG, so it will actually depend on a lot of factors. Before we move on, let's do a quick summary of the steps one more time. Cast Con when Sharky's timer is halfway past the shine on his head. Cast Eclair immediately after boss text. DC when Cotton's at the pillar. Vamp at 6 o'clock. Shark at 9 o'clock. Slingshot, Cotton. When circles are blinking the second time, cast DC. Eclair, Cotton, Slingshot, Shark, and Vamp all for the final blow. By the way, our little dragon buddy's name is Lil Whisk, and we all love him very much, and I really hope everyone else watching this also has their little dragon buddy of their own. With the strat, you see an increase of anywhere from 500k to 1 mil in damage due to Eclair's insane scaling and skill utility. It's quite simple, so now let's head on over to the next one. For this strat, we'll be replacing Vamp entirely with Almond. To build Almond, you can go with a full set of attack toppings. The most ideal build, however, is to have a mix of attack and attack speed, just to allow Almond to do more auto attacks, considering he won't really be dealing the majority of damage himself. Stack as much attack speed substats as possible, and you're good to go with Almond. For Sharky, you'll need to prioritize on attack and crit percent substats. This is because the strat highly relies on Sharky critting. It will also be definitely worth upgrading crit damage slabs after you've maxed out ambush attack. Getting it to at least level 5 will be worth doing a bunch of damage. Even if Sharky doesn't crit, you'll still be seeing practically the same damage numbers as Vamp, if not higher. For the rest of the team, here's a quick glance at the topping builds. Now we'll move on to taking a look at a successful run.
위대한 연구가 될 겁니다. 끝이다.
가도를 가르며 가볼까? 불을 밝힐게요.
이걸로 끝이다. 위대한 연구가 될
불을
겁니다.
밝힐게요.
당신을 체포하겠습니다.
가도를 가르며 가볼까?
Special thanks to Leafy for the video. So let's take a deeper dive into the specifics. For this first part, it's the same. Cast Cotton when Sharky's timer is halfway through the shine, then put Eclair back on timer just to get his cast out as soon as possible. After Eclair is casted, immediately put Cotton back on timer. Cast DC when Cotton is at this pillar, then cast Shark right around 9 o'clock slingshot. After Cotton has casted, you want to put Eclair on timer. When the circles start to blink, cast DC. And just cast Almond at the same time as Cotton. Finally, just cast Shark and you'll be all done. Now, let's look at a quick summary of the steps mentioned before. Cast Cotton when Sharky's timer is halfway past the shine on his head. Cast Eclair immediately after boss text. DC when Cotton's at the pillar. Sharky at 9 o'clock, slingshot, Cotton. When circles are blinking the second time, cast DC. Eclair, Almond, Cotton, slingshot, and Shark in that order, all for the final blow. As mentioned, this strat relies heavily on Eclair and Sharky critting to amplify the damage done. However, you can still see pretty good increases even if you don't really get any crits. So, those are the two new regular strats that you can try out with Eclair Cookie. In our next video, we'll be discussing solo strats. We hope that this has helped you in any way possible. If you need more help, feel free to join our Discord server, where our community members are willing to help out when needed. We understand that there are a lot of details and small mistakes that just aren't easily identifiable, so it's much easier to ask for help in our server instead. If you're a leader of a guild, Whisktakers has also recently launched a new community program, where we're offering a special guild leader role for the leaders within our community. We hope to be connected to other guilds this way, and be able to communicate more efficiently, whether it's leader advice, sharing information, advertising, and more. simply head on to the Guild News channel to read on the info, and I'll be guiding you through it all. As always, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys around.